Welcome back. In our last video, we made our very first visualization using the ggplot2 library, and with it we were able to go and observe with our car data set that there seems to be an overall negative trend and a negative relationship with engine size and fuel economy. So what that means over here is that cars with smaller engines uh, tend to usually give more miles per gallon than cars with larger engines over here. So this is a general negative trend, but if we look at this grouping over here, right over here, we see that these cars seem to go and fall outside of the trend. And what we're going to go and try to answer is what makes these cars over here different? So one of the things that we can go and do is actually color these points based on the car type. So let's just go and copy our code, and I'll show you what I mean. So copying this in, and in the mapping, right, we're going to go and add an argument over here. So we're going to write color, and it's going to be class, right? So just looking at our MPG data set over here again, so write MPG. So over here we go and we see the class of the car. So there's a variety of different classes of car, and what we're going to do is that we're going to plot it, and we're going to hopefully see some insight about why these points are outside of the general trend. So after running this code over here, right, you can either press the run button or hit Control Enter. So what we have over here is that these outliers, these are two-seater cars. And we have also one mid-size car over here, but the rest of them are two-seater cars. And with the trend is that two-seater cars are much smaller in size, but they have larger engines. So that explains why the fuel economy on these two-seater cars are a little bit better. Another way that we can choose to visualize it is by looking at it in terms of size, right? So assuming, right, that our data is sorted in size, we can go and we can have a very interesting sort of visualization over here by changing our mapping from color to size. We get the following graph. So we're going to go and run it. All right, we get this warning over here that size is not advised for using a discrete variable over here, but if this was sorted in by size, which I don't think it is, because I believe a subcompact is smaller than a minivan, but let's just assume that it's bigger than a minivan. We can go and get an idea of the size of the cars and their fuel economy. So over here we go and we see that these are smaller cars over here, these two-seater cars, and they have better fuel economy because of it. So that's an interesting way of being able to visualize our data. Another way we can go and choose to visualize it is by using different shapes. So by using the shape parameter, right, in the mapping argument and the static arguments, so we do shape, right, and we get a variety of different shapes. So running that, we have different shapes for different models of cars, but the problem is that for SUV we have a missing a point over here. So the reason for that is because ggplot, they by default only read 6 points, right, when we're dealing with a shape. So it's much more advisable when doing something like this to be using a color plot or even a size plot, which is much more desirable. Another way that you can go and do this, I'm not saying that you should do this, but this is just an option for you to do this, is that you can have it in varying shades as well. So let's say you have a black and white report and you want to be able to go and convey the idea, but still be able to show this argument. We go and we change it to alpha, which signifies the shade of the points that we want. So just going and running this code, we have over here our lighter points being our two-seaters, and then we have our darker points being going to our bigger cars, the SUV. So now, just so you know, all of these points that we're having over here, they need to go and be in the mapping argument in the aesthetic wrapper. So now, let's say I were to go and use this ggplot, and I were to go and write the following over here. I have it like this, and then outside I put down a color, and then I put class. Here, let me just go do it like that. I'm going to get an error, pretty sure. See, so what that is that if we're interested in specifying a specific color, then we can go and do that. So let's go and write blue. And there you have it. We have our plot made, but the color of the points are now blue. So just one more thing. If I were to go and put this argument in the mapping, I'll get a very interesting result. So if I were to go and write the color blue in the mapping, what do I have? Something very bizarre. All of my points are red. So that's because I'm putting the color in the mapping argument, right, which is wrapped by the aesthetics. And what ggplot is reading this as is that they're reading that this is a level in our data, that this is type of data which is classified as blue. And because we don't have anything really going and telling us about how this relates to it, ggplot just colors it all as a default. Its default color on the color wheel where it starts, which is red. So that's for all right now that we have about aesthetics. I'm going to go see you in the next video.